product discovery on itself is usually a messy process. We as PMs to make it seem that it looks like dual track. Then you find evidence for one of your ideas. You feel comfortable. You mitigated the risk. Then you move it to product delivery. But it's very uncertain by nature. You'll never know what you're going to, which of your ideas are going to be successful or not. And you never know when picking an hypothesis, when you're going to gain evidence to support them, right? And that's why I think that structuring this process is very important. I think I haven't seen any book that it's actually very pragmatic, the classic how-to book that says, okay, let's say that you're starting on a new team. You know the theory about product discovery. You know the methodology, but how do you actually organize this? So I'm going to mention how we do it at 26, specifically my team, because different teams adopt this in different ways, even if there's kind of a standardized ways of doing product discovery, and I'll tell you. So we have two backlogs. One is for product discovery, and the second one is for product delivery. The product discovery one, it's very cool because it's connected to a global product report. So you can see from all the different teams and the product teams at N26 are very, very, very large. I would say the product organization has around 70, 80 professionals working, PMs, basically. So you can see which are the ideas that we do have, which are the prioritized ones, and which are the ones that got evidence, and therefore we are going to take them to the delivery track. It's also very important to include the metric, or in our case, we work with OKRs as a way of measuring progress towards our vision, let's say, or our objectives. And I think it's very important at the time of writing a ticket on the discovery backlog to understand which is the metric that we pretend to impact with that initiative. That's on one side. How do we know that a ticket is done? We usually use, going back to Marty Kagan, we use Marty Kagan's product opportunity assessment. So we usually start with the problem space. We explore the problem space. We try to understand which are the customer problems. Once we validated that there's a problem that customers really have, and we validate it with different users, why they have it, when do they have it, etc. Then we move into solution mode. And I try to make a very big difference between problem space and solution space, because it's very tempting to move immediately to the solution space. But actually, we need to spend a lot of time on the problem space. That's the way we structure our product discovery process. We start with the problem, we continue with possible solutions, and with those solutions, we try to gain evidence. Our goal is to get evidence that we are moving in the right way, and we found the right problem to solve. And only when we have the evidence, that's when we are going to move into delivery. Apart from the typical Scrum ceremonies that probably all teams have, like the stand-up, the grooming session, the planning session, the retro, we also have a discovery cadence where we go on a weekly meeting, and it's more of an exploratory moment where we come up with different hypotheses that we want to validate. And as I said, they are mostly focused on the problem space.
So how do you prioritize all the hypotheses, all the discovery tickets with the metrics you want to move in the discovery backlog?
Exactly.
Do you do it during this weekly meeting or during the normal grooming?
Yeah. For the discovery ideas, we prioritize them during the discovery meeting. For the delivery stuff, we prioritize it more on the grooming and the planning. And how we prioritize the product discovery ideas, We have, of course, different dimensions. We try to see which is the size of the opportunity, our confidence level. So confidence, it's another way of talking about risk.
Yeah.
When you don't have confidence, there's risk. When you have a lot of confidence, there's less risk. So if you think of classic prioritizing methodologies like RISE, the C is confidence.
Yeah.
And it's basically the risk. And it's basically what we try to manage in the product discovery process.